Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. So I'm here, part two of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. Um, I did part one. It's on my TikTok page. I'm gonna try to get through part two and send it out everywhere. It's really a lot. First of all, over here on this couch, you can't get a word in. All three of these women are talking at the same time. And at this point, Meredith and Sean right here, Angie's husband, are going back and forth because Sean supposedly was on a podcast. He said something about Meredith's son, and she is devastated. Then, come to find out, I was like Andy. They were talking about her house because she actually rents. And then she was like, but Angie meant it in a bad way. And Andy was like, is that what you was upset about? So she took offense to that. And now, before the first commercial, she has gotten up and threatened to leave the couch. So here's Meredith standing up. She's about to leave because they had to go ahead and pull up footage from Monica from last season to prove that Meredith didn't say anything about Angie's husband liking guys. Because it seems like they were saying that she did say something. Meredith said, I'm not here for this. So once they pulled up the footage, they talked about it. Andy talked her down. She finally sat down. It was a mess. So Whitney is over here apologizing to John because, you know, what she said at the burn book table in Mexico, because she couldn't apologize to Lisa because she was such an uproar. And John accepted her apology. Then Lisa was like, when she said that Sean was doing circle jerks, she said it was just an analogy because she was so upset. She said she didn't mean it. She didn't even know what it was until 2 weeks before. Like, she didn't even have to put Angie and Sean in it. They were talking about her. And when I say her, I mean Lisa. But she loves to deflect. So they wanted to know, why did Whitney's husband not take up for her when Seth called her a biatch, right? He said that Justin was like, I had promised I was going to stay out of it. And Seth said something crazy like, oh, when I meet John, I'll say that on the street or something. But I didn't mean anything by it. And Whitney was like, well, why did you say it to me so aggressively? He said, I didn't mean to do it, and he apologized. But that was a lot. Justin should have done something about that. Just a little, at least said something. Child, so now the question has come up about Todd having an emotional affair. As Bronwyn is talking, Haterade right here, Haterade Heather, Bronwyn, I rally for you. You said more than that. Girl, be quiet. So when Andy asked Todd about it, Todd said he hasn't watched the show. Bronwyn said they've talked about it. Todd said, I'm sure that Bronwyn has shared more than I would like. You were right about that. So she was trying to get it straight that he had an emotional affair. It was way before this group or whatever, and she felt like she wasn't good enough. And they talked about the 5 promises that he gave her. Of course, Lisa chimed in, but I think they got it done. And I think Bronwyn talked her way out of it so she could smooth it out for herself, because he's a tough cookie. Child, so they just talked about Bronwyn's daughter Gwen finding Todd texting another woman when he was in his emotional affair. When I tell you Todd is on 10, but he is trying to remain calm for the show, and then Bronwyn turns around and talks him down. It's going to be okay. Ooh, when she get home tonight. Child, so they got to talk about Meredith and Seth. Meredith said that she and Seth have a great relationship and they have bumps in the roads like everybody else. Because Seth works in Ohio, he's there most of the time, but he said it's like a first date when he comes home every weekend, and sometimes he sees her more. Then Andy said, did he have a side chick in Ohio? He raised both hands and he said, here they are. So I guess they're good. I will say this. The fellas are leaving now. This is not Todd's cup of tea. Like, he's not used to this. Todd is used to being quiet and in control environment that he is controlling. You can't control Angie and Lisa's mouth. So he did good though. I think he did great. Child, so Mary's part has come on and she's talking about Robert Jr. and He went to rehab for 30 days, and Andy was saying, it's not going to work if you don't want to do it. She said he wanted to do it, and the conversation they had, she felt like it was a cry for help. She said that her mission was accomplished, and they had talked about it when the cameras came up. She was hoping that she could help someone, and she's had an outpouring of, affection, love, and everything from people. And when we started crying is when Andy said the part that hurt him the most is when Robert Jr. said that he felt like a stain. And that was a hard part, because as a mother, as a parent, your children are here out of love for the most part. You will do anything for them. And if they feel like they're a stain, that is hard. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to fix it. So yeah, needless to say, that was a hard part, but we got through it. I thought Mary should be sitting next to Andy, her and Angie, because I don't know why Lisa's over there, but she did her thing this season. So they still talking to Mary, and they asked what did Robert Sr. say, and she said he commended her for doing it, and he loved her, and he thought that she was a beautiful mom. Mary and them talked about a lot of stuff, y'all, and she did a great job, and I'm sure she helped somebody. I'm moving on from this now. Let's keep going. Child, we're over here a mess. I thought it was over, right? All the ladies are talking to Mary, telling her what a great mother she is. And then Whitney is sitting over there trying to keep herself together. She's trying to not look at people so she just won't scream out, right? But she said that, her father is an addict, and she could not explain it to her children why they don't have their grandfather. But she said she sat down and she watched this with her children, and now because of Robert Jr. and how he explained everything, her children understand why they don't have a grandfather around, right? And I don't know if you watched this, but Mary's son used the analogy that when he's not doing things, life seems like unseasoned chicken. But when he takes something, it's the seasoning for him. Oh my God. So Andy tried to lighten the mood because he wanted to know like what happened with Mary, because she was so light this season. She was active. She was participating with the girls. Even though she had all that going on with Robert Jr., she was still like a participant. She said that she had a friend. She found a friend in Angie. And she was like, she found somebody who she felt was a good friend to her, right? And she said she just clocked in. Now, they asked about her relationship with Meredith. She said she loves Meredith. They have a different friendship, right? She said she really doesn't like to put her burdens on others, and Meredith travels the world. So she said they have a different friendship. And Meredith was like, I'm sorry I couldn't have been there for you. And she sent her a text about her nephew, Meredith's nephew, who's gone through the similar experiences. So that was emotional too. Honey, this is something else. So all that emotion is out of the window now, because Meredith is talking about all the things that people have said about her this season. She has pulled her phone out and she has a list of everything. Liar, garden tool, all that kind of stuff. And it almost ended bad, but it didn't. Mary and Meredith got up because Mary said, give me a hug, Meredith, because Meredith had said that she felt like Mary had used her because she didn't let her know everything that was going on. Mary said, I've never used anybody in my life. I would appreciate you to take that back. And Meredith took it back. And she got up and said, give me a hug, Meredith. And they hugged it out. But Mary told Angie that you're going to have to work it out with Meredith because I love her. Now, it may work. It may work because Angie and Mary have a great relationship. So it could work. I felt like this was a better episode than the first part. So the second part, I loved it. We got one more to go. Next week won't be so emotional. Brittany will be back, which is going to upset everybody almost. So I'm excited. It's your girl, Millie Chun. I'll talk to you later. Bye.